This is Charles Taylor Kirchner at the Claremont Graduate University. I'd like to talk with you today about how to transform public education in ways that make schools winners rather than losers. How does education change? Or does it? For the past 40 years, we've had this big experiment with governance. We've tried regulation and we've tried deregulation. Problem is, we switch from one to the other or use them both at the same time. It's all about a battle of adults, and it's led to something that I call permanent crisis. In fact, the politics we've got can't fix the problems we've got. But all is not hopeless. Lots of incremental change. California test scores are better, and that's a good thing. Lots of experimentation in charters and district schools, but the basic policy is still stuck between the instincts for more regulation and freedom, and thus we can talk about things like the Common Core of standards at the same time we talk about things like apparent takeovers of schools and charter schools. Meanwhile, education innovation is not at all equal to the pace of technological innovation. We have forgotten something important about Moore's Law, where technology gets better, cheaper, faster, and we've forgotten how to use disruptive innovation as a way to change our schools. Our official response to technology has been to mandate something called computer literacy, ban cell phones, and put computers in the back of classrooms rather than integrate them in the programs of instruction. What we need to do instead is build the capacity for learning. Use technology in the process. Think in software terms, if you will. Backward compatibility, an idea we'll come back to in a moment. For 100 years, education has been built around two ideas: the acquisition and storage of information, sometimes you get to use it much later, and a batch processing system built on the student data manufacturing. Who would have thought that your birthday was the most important thing about you? So we asked the question, are there places where students actually learn differently, and can we make a list of those characteristics? And the answer is yes. I call that Learning 2.0, the integration of learning and application, an individual education plan for everyone, a playlist if you will, the notion that the student is the worker in the system, a rebundling of teaching and testing and growing up that gains time for the teacher as a mentor, and finally adding to the ability to collaborate and solve ambiguous problems to our list of the basic necessary skills. Where does Learning 1.0 go? No, it does not go away. We need to remember the notion of backward compatibility. Learning 1.0 becomes the foundation for Learning 2.0. So, if schooling were software, we'd have a version, Learning 1.0, that was issued about 1910 and has had periodic revisions, and we have Learning 2.0, which is now, in software terms, in beta testing, and it's got some nifty new features. Let's look at Learning 1.0 had some nice things about it. Modular design. It worked great for normal students. Extra cost options for the non-normal. Great for basic skills. But look at what Learning 2.0 adds. Real-time adaptation, immediate application through simulations, apprenticeships, projects, and so forth. Integration across the subjects and disciplines, and importantly, the ability to self-monitor. The capacity to overcome failure, an important life lesson. So how does the state build the capacity for new forms of learning? I suggest something called Learning 2.0 Net, an internet service that provides information, teaching, testing, and certification. Information. Lights on the pathway to college. Certificated help in demand. The doctor is in fact in. And we're going to add to information teaching. A permanent on-call teaching assistant, a permanent tutor for every student in the state, smart apps, displays of the standards and how to get there, the ability to collaborate amongst teachers and students and to develop new applications in the process. And then finally, the notion of gaining credit on demonstrated knowledge instead of seat time. Ready, aim, test. This will increase the system productivity, and it may shorten the time for diplomas for students and their ability to combine high school and college work. How does Learning 2.0 Net change teaching? The secret here is gradually. It turns innovation into something that's not only adoptable but adaptable. It also changes educational politics. It reshapes the interests of existing groups, unions, teachers, school districts, and the like, and it brings some powerful new interests into the issue. And this is important. But the most important thing is it has the capacity to make California an educational winner again. If you're interested in Learning 2.0 or Learning 2.0 Net, see my website, Charles Taylor Kirchner, at www.mindworkers.com. Thanks for listening.